there's a very special celebration that's going to be happening in downtown Kitchener, celebrating 175 years of Trinity United Church. It's called So Great a Heritage, and we just happen to have two of the members of the planning team joining us here. This is Dennis Watson and Catherine Lees of the planning team at Trinity. Congratulations on 175 years.
Thank
and
you.
I have to start off, Dennis, by commenting on the outfit that you're wearing here today. I understand you're appearing as a Methodist circuit rider, saddlebag preacher. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, if you go back 175 years, Trinity United Church was a Methodist church. Its origins. So, of course, back then the country was, everybody was so spread out that it took a circuit rider, a saddlebag preacher, to go and run around and actually ride around and visit all the various places to hold a worship service. There weren't these churches as such, so they were often held in homes and barns and on the green, if the weather permitted.
Well, and you have to think back 175 years in this area. This was not the almost 500,000 people region that we're living in now. We were much more spread out in Berlin, as it was known at the time.
Correct. And hence that's the persona I'm adopting, and I've adopted that for a few Sundays at our worship services just to bring the history forward. So we're spending a little time kind of taking some pride in the history, because 175 years is a long time.
Well, and absolutely worth celebrating. And celebrating as a church that really values its downtown roots, Catherine. This is a church that is very proud of the work that you've been able to do in downtown Kitchener.
Yeah, we are determined to be a face in the downtown core with our outreach and anything we can do to help the homeless, anybody like that.
I was going to say that being a downtown church, I'm certain has helped to shape the mission of the church and what you're doing at Trinity.
Indeed, and the congregation has reaffirmed it again, that we still wish to be a presence in the downtown and mission in the downtown. I think you have some idea that currently we're looking and exploring options for redeveloping the property so that we can perhaps engage in community partnerships. There's often a whole lot of benefit when two or more bodies can come together to solve the issues in the community.
Absolutely, and it just sort of shows the evolving face. I mean, Trinity certainly is not the same church it was 50 years ago or 175 years ago. I mean, evolution happens in church as it does in everything else.
It does indeed, and I think we've adapted fairly well to the downtown. I mean, we have the construction that's going on right now with the LRT, but we're persevering, and we still believe there's an important part of our mission, and that has to be in the downtown, and that's been our roots.
I think it's exciting, Catherine, that as you celebrate the 175th anniversary, part of the anniversary weekend you've got set happens on Sunday, October the 23rd, which happens to be the exact date, 175 years ago, that Trinity got
We're
its
making
roots.
a celebration weekend out of it. So on the Saturday, we're having a sort of a meet and greet that starts at 2 o'clock, and then we're doing a history of the church in word and music. So it'll be probably Dennis giving some of the background of how the church has evolved over the years, and then we'll be singing hymns that pertain to that era that he's talking about. So that's the Saturday event, and then on the Sunday, we're not worshiping in the morning like we normally do. We're starting at 2 o'clock with a service, and we've invited back retired ministers, retired organists, or any musicians who have had anything to do with Trinity, former choristers who have moved away, choral scholars who have gone on to bigger and better things. They're all coming back. We're going to have a choir of about 50 people, and a brass band as well, and a guest organist. And that's going to be an amazing service, a lot of music and a lot of celebration going on then. And then we're having, after that, a gala reception that's being catered, and we're hoping everybody will stay for that. And we're giving away china teacups that we've been collecting over the years, the kinds our grandmothers used, and if anyone wants a memento. We're giving away cookbooks that we have that the Trinity people have put together. CDs that the choir has presented. We're giving away a whole bunch of those. So it'll just be a way of remembering Trinity. And everyone in their church program is getting a bulletin that has pictures of the church on one side and a history of the church on the back side. So that will come with everybody's bulletin in church that Sunday. So it's all going to be really, really positive and up and celebratory.
I love the fact that you're sharing. It's like you're sharing history with people as you share all of these things, the CDs and the pictures and the teacups and everything else that you're doing. And it is a very rich history. We only have about a minute and a half left, Dennis.
Yes.
But are there certain points in Trinity's history that sort of stand out to you?
Well, of course, the movement from the first building to the second to the third, the research that I've been doing, there's already some recorded history, but I've also been able, with the internet, you can do a whole lot more now in terms of what you're finding. But I suppose one of the lighter moments, if I can share this very quickly, in the 70s, a biker couple approached the minister at Trinity wanting to have a wedding. No other church would do a wedding for a biker couple, but the minister of the day said he would do it under certain conditions. Only the church music could be sung and only so many people allowed in the sanctuary. Well, the day of the wedding, all kinds of bikes parked in front of the church. They sang certain music that they enjoyed. As well, we learned later that the undercover police were scattered around the area keeping an eye. Remember, this is the 70s, right? So the wedding went on, all went well, no issues, and that's one of the lighter moments.
And if you want more of the history, you'll have to join Dennis and everybody at Trinity United Church on October 22nd and 23rd as they celebrate so great a heritage. Thank you so much for joining us. More daytime still to come.